Creatine, possibly the cheapest and most researched supplement to date. Everyone around you is either cycling it, loading it, or blasting it. And this might leave you wondering, is it actually safe? Join me in this video to take a semi-deep dive into creatine for 2025. So, let's go. What is creatine? Creatine basically is a natural occurring compound that is found in foods such as meat, fish, or poultry. It is also produced in the body by the liver, the kidneys, and the pancreas. And it is stored primarily in our muscles as phosphocreatine. Creatine is used to produce energy during high-intensity exercise, or what I would prefer to say, anaerobic exercise. This includes any short duration exercise such as sprinting or lifting heavy ass weights. Creatine was initially discovered in 1832 by a French chemist called Michael Eugene Chevreul. He isolated it from meat and called it creatine, after the Greek word for meat, which is kreas. So what actually is creatine? Starting off, it is a nitrogenous organic compound. No need to worry about that for now, but it is basically synthesized in the body from glycine, arginine, and methionine. So the main benefit of creatine is its increase of energy production. And it does this by helping regenerate ATP, which stands for adenosine triphosphate. And this is the primary energy source for our muscles, especially during high intensity exercise. So we could safely say that creatine will help improve exercise performance. Some examples are strength increases, power output increases, sprint performance, muscle recovery, and even muscle mass. The muscle mass part is done indirectly. So one way creatine increases muscle mass is by allowing us to basically train more. Yet it also increases water within the muscle, and our muscles are around 70% water. It can also potentially enhance protein synthesis. The fact that there's more water in the muscle just makes muscle building and muscle recovery just work better. So to just get slightly scientific, ATP is utilized as the primary source by our muscles. And when it is broken down, energy is released. Now, having creatine saturation in the body will allow the ATP to be regenerated quicker. And this in turn allows your body to remain on this system of energy before shifting over to another system such as the aerobic one. So you could say that creatine indirectly buffers the release of lactic acid, right? Because you're remaining on the anaerobic system and not switching to any other energy systems once you have sufficient creatine within your system. So, types of creatine, pretty easy. You've got creatine monohydrate, which is the main version of creatine, the most researched version too. And you don't need to utilize any other types of creatine except for creatine monohydrate unless you're facing digestive issues. However, my recommendation is simply to take your creatine with a meal, and that will most likely eliminate the digestion issues associated with creatine monohydrate for 99% of you. But just to mention a few other types of creatine, you have creatine HCI, buffered forms of creatine, and creatine nitrate. So, is creatine safe to take? Let's start off by saying that the research behind creatine is intensive, to say the least. There are at least 685 human clinical studies done on creatine supplementation. This involved over 12,800 participants. Beyond these clinical trials, reviews and meta-analyses document hundreds more, which span over lab-based research, animal studies, and other observational studies. So basically, creatine has been studied for over 30 years. So, creatine as a nootropic. Basically, the brain, like our muscles, utilizes ATP for energy. So when the brain is under stress, such as mental fatigue, sleep deprivation, or other intense cognitive tasks, the energy demands of the brain obviously increase. And the same way as creatine helps keep ATP levels sufficient in the muscles, it also does this in the brain. So science has shown that creatine can improve memory, enhance mental performance under stress, reduce mental fatigue, and can have neuroprotective effects on the brain as well. So creatine is not a flashy nootropic, but it has a lot of studies done on it, both in the body and brain. So 100% safe, 100% recommended. To conclude, all you need is, in my opinion, 1 gram per kilogram of body weight per day. And I would recommend, like I previously said, creatine monohydrate with a meal. Usually I prefer it post-workout, but it's not necessary to do either. And that's it. New trends are emerging where people are sort of mega dosing creatine. There are some YouTube videos where people talk about their experience with mega dosing creatine. I myself have not done it. I weigh 105 or so kilos, and typically I take 10 to 15 grams per day. But if you have any experience with mega dosing creatine, you're considering using creatine, or you have any other questions regarding creatine, as I left this video pretty basic, please let me know in the comments and I will try my best to answer them. That being said, I hope you enjoy your creatine gains. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And as always, onwards and upwards.